Do you consider taking care of your body an investment? Find out on this next episode of Digest This.
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello and welcome to Digest This. I'm Dr. Liz Cruz and I've got Tina Nunziato sitting right here by my side. Thank you so much for joining us. We are thrilled that you are on this journey with us. If you are an established, regular listener, Established. Okay. Well, maybe that's not
very formal.
If you're an established,
like an established patient.
If you're an established visitor to our site, to our podcast, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Awesome.
And if you are a new visitor to our podcast, wow. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in and join the family. We're so happy that you're here. We know that everybody has busy schedules. And so the fact that you take 15, 20 minutes out of your busy weeks to spend it with us means the world to us. So thank you. So how about that question I asked? Because I can't remember the question. No, no, seriously. Do you consider taking care of your body an investment? Mm-hmm. That is a great question. That's a great question. What we do on this podcast, what we've been doing for years, okay, because we have hundreds of podcasts out there that we've been talking about, and basically it pretty much all boils down to that, right?
Mm-hmm. Are you willing to invest in yourself?
Exactly. Are you willing to invest in yourself? You know, I think that that we are so great on taking care of our pets. That's an area that I think Americans are really good at, right?
Yeah. We can be a little over the top.
We have our own pets. We have how old is our gecko? 15?
He's probably 18, 19 years old now.
Yeah, and I tell you, if he's not feeling well, I want Tina to take him to the vet, and she's like, "You're crazy."
Not taking a gecko to the vet.
But we've had him for so long,
and
we're so connected to him.
At some point,
he's not going to die. He is not going to die. He's been around for a long time. He's a desert creature. But the point is that we don't hesitate to do what we need to do for our pets, because we love them so much and they're part of the family.
Mm-hmm. Our cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If something goes wrong, that it doesn't matter how much it costs, we do it. Obviously we need our cars to get us around. So most of the time, it's like we have no choice. We have to get it done, or we're not going to get to where we need to go. Mm-hmm. In this society, for the most part, we need a vehicle. Mm-hmm. But what about our health? Mm-hmm.
What about our body?
Our body, that's right. What about our bodies? We tend to take our bodies for granted. And it's not, a lot of times it's not intentional. Sometimes it is, because I've met plenty of patients, plenty of people that are like, I'm going to eat whatever I want. Life is short. I'm going to do whatever I want and enjoy life because life is short. That's their philosophy. And, they're not going to change. They're not going to, try to drink more water. They're not going to try to, buy healthier alternative options, because they don't want to. And that's fine. we are not here to push anyone to anything. If you come to our office, it's everywhere.
Here to challenge you.
Exactly.
To think differently, basically.
Exactly. And so we actually just did a series here recently. I think it was in January, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was early January on self-care, and it was 4 podcasts, I believe, that we did. 5? Okay, 5 podcasts. So you could go back and find that. It's just a few weeks ago that we did it on some different topics on self-care. But why is it important to invest in our bodies?
Well, and let's talk about the difference between an expense versus an investment, right? So that's the thing I try to explain to patients. You know, and the reason this topic came up this week is because I've had a lot of consults recently where the people are very sick. You know, they're taking a lot of medicine, they're even missing work because they're so sick, and so then they have no money, right? It's this cycle of, I'm so sick, I'm missing work, therefore I can't make money or bring money in, therefore I don't have money to invest in myself, right? And that's this negative spiral that we end up experiencing when we get so sick that we can't provide for ourselves, right? But the bottom line is, you know, most people look at things that they spend money on as an expense, not as an investment, right? So, for example, putting money into a home that you own would be considered, in most cases, an investment, right? Because you're investing in the property value that you hope will go up over time, right? So there are ways that you spend money where it's not an expense and it's an investment in your future, right? You should definitely consider your body, right? Because you mentioned we can't get around without our cars, right? So that's why our cars are so important, because we can't get around without them. Your body is way more important than your car, okay? Because your body is the vessel that you live in every day, the vessel that gets you around, the vessel that gets you through the day, the vessel that will hopefully be around in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Your car's not going to be around in 30 years, right? Your body is. So the most important thing that you have in your life is your body, your physical body.
Amen.
And even your mental body, your mental health, which is why Dr. Cruz mentioned the self-care series, because we talked a lot about mental health in that one, and
spiritual health.
Being good on the inside, right? Not just physically, but also mentally, spiritually, all those things. But I don't think we give enough credit to how important our bodies are. You know, like you said, we tend to think of any time I have to put money into my body, it almost makes me mad.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to, buy this supplement or consider this food sensitivity test or whatever it is, when it can actually help your body get better, feel better, function properly. Anything you do, even energy work, you know, like I met with a woman yesterday who's had a lot of trauma in her life, and her body is physically affected, or has been physically affected. And I was explaining to her how anytime you've had trauma, and a lot of trauma like that, it can absolutely affect you physically. And I was telling her about energy work, and she's like, well, I have no money for that. Like, I can't afford energy work. And everybody can afford whatever you want to afford, right? Like, it's really up to you in terms of priority and how you spend your money. But if you've had a lot of trauma in your life and you need to clear that, you might have to hire somebody to help you, you know, and that's okay. Like, you should, again, think of that as an investment in your future, not an expense. Because the reality is, if you don't address it, whether it's a physical issue or an energy, mental, spiritual issue, you're just going to keep getting sicker. You're not going to get better, okay? You're going to get put on more and more medicines. You're going to, you know, we say this in our seminar. It's a little drastic, but the bottom line is you're going to bring an end to your life sooner than probably you should have. Right. Because you didn't take the time early on to address the issues properly and deal with them so that you can heal. Right? Whether that's physical healing, mental healing, spiritual healing. It's all possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do want to chime in again on what Tina is saying as far as the, the physical, the spiritual, the mental, because it really is a combination of, it's not just one thing, okay? It's not just one thing. Like, you have to get right, not only physically, but even inside. And we talked a lot about all of those specific areas on that series. Please go back and watch that series. We just did it just recently now in January. But the self-care is so crucial because look, we see it every day. We see it in our practice every day. You know, people that are coming in, and now we're seeing, for years now, we've been seeing younger and younger people coming in with the same symptoms that their parents and grandparents have, okay? And, we attribute a lot of it to diet, but also stress, stress and the whole mental and spiritual component of it. I mean, honestly, I'm concerned that this generation is not going to live as long as...
Right, like every generation should be living a little bit past their parents and grandparents, right? But I think you're right. Like, I think this generation coming up behind us is going to suffer a lot more, and just because of the mental health issues.
For a lot of reasons, exactly. I mean, and even like this is we're here in the United States of America, and I know there may be, we have listeners from all over the world, but for example, here in the USA, this is a developed country. Okay, we have like the best technology for anything. Okay, medicine, just anything in any arena, in any field. And yet, it's probably one of the sickest countries, okay? I mean, the rates of cancer and heart disease, stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity. I mean, everything, like, it's just crazy that we're in the most developed country. You can go into the hospital and get all sorts of tests done on yourself. But yet, the rate of disease and people developing all sorts of illness is skyrocket. All right, skyrocket. And again, we're seeing these patients in our office. They're coming in. We do these tests. We try to help them. Tina and her team, our holistic nutritionist team, is talking to patients all the time. We have them there in the office, online, trying to guide patients and trying to help them. But it's not only the diet.
Right. Well, by the time they get through the testing at the office, right? So typically they end up with us after they've been through all the testing at the office. Everything's come back negative for the most part, right? Or they found inflammation, let's say in the esophagus, and they're like, why do I have inflammation, right? And then they're with us, and all the stuff that happens through the office, for the most part, gets covered by insurance, right? By the time they get to us, though, the more natural side, the bottom line is insurance does not want to pay for you to be well. Okay, they're not going to pay for supplements. They're not going to pay for naturopathic testing.
That's not how they're making medicine.
That's not how they're making money. They're making money off of you being sick. Okay, that's the bottom line. So by the time they get to us, now they got to start putting out some money, right? Now, we give away our consults for free. The information we give away for free to patients is invaluable. I can't even tell you how many times a person has said to me, wow, this was really enlightening and very helpful. Like, there is no way anyone else is giving out this information for free, first of all, okay? But all we're asking is, hey, maybe to find out why your esophagus is inflamed, because traditional medicine testing is not finding the reason why, okay? The testing that we have can help find the reason why, but you have to pay for it, right? You have to pay cash. And unless you're willing to put out that money and invest in yourself, you're never going to get the answers you need to get better. And that's the bottom line. That's why I tell people, well, I don't have the money for that. Okay, well, save it up and call me back. We're not going anywhere, right? But save it up, because this test is going to help you get better. I've seen it time and time and time again. Patients calling me because they've done these tests, they've gotten on these supplements, and all of a sudden, their life changes. They're feeling better, they're back to work, they're able to live their life and without pain. They don't have reflux anymore, they can get off of meds, right? Like, that's the goal, okay? The goal is get you better. But again, traditional medicine isn't doing it, right? Unfortunately. We have to go the more holistic, natural approach, and that's what takes an investment in yourself. And so that's all. We just wanted to express how important it is to make an investment. Stop looking at your health as an expense and look at it as an investment. Prioritize the way you're spending money. A bottle of enzymes is $35 a month, okay? Patients are, I don't have money for that. I don't have money to help me digest food better so that the side effects of the PPI don't affect me. It blows me away. Like, just stop drinking Starbucks for a week and you'll have the money to buy a bottle of enzymes, okay? It's all about priorities. Find a way to scrounge up $35 a month to get yourself a bottle of enzymes, okay? It's that simple. I don't know. People don't want to take a chance on themselves. Maybe they've just been sold too many times and they don't believe it. I dare them. I dare them. I dare you. Try it. Invest in yourself. See if it can help you feel better.
And on that note, we're going to bring this to a close because I can't say anything that's going to top that. And so look, if you want to connect with us, like Tina said, a free 30-minute wellness consult. I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's free. You can do it from anywhere in the world because it's done over the phone. Go to our website, drlizcruz.com, and click on the magenta colored button that is on the homepage and schedule that consult. If you haven't connected with us through our podcast, like if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. And lastly, if you have not rated us, please give us a rating and please give us a 5 because it'll actually help other people just like you to find us easier. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.